Welcome. We have been waiting.
What's up, you guys? I'm Drew Hernandez, and this is the Candid Conversation. Today with me is Kyle Williams, a very dear friend of mine, an old roommate, Grand Rapids native. All right, man. What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's a little early, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, we got to do it kind of early today, but you got priorities. What you got going on today?
Man, I got a lot going on today. I think I'm gonna head to work, and then after work, I'm gonna go boxing, and then after that, I got to do some homework. Man, I'll be getting to it.
Sheesh. So you box though. Like when
Yeah,
did when did this start? Because you ran track in college, so
I wouldn't say I box, but I mean,
like for a workout kind of thing.
exactly. Yeah, I'm like, you know how like when the old ladies go like at an old age and they just like start boxing for fun and like to lose weight and to work out.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I'll be in there. Like I can't spar anything just yet, but I have, and I've gotten hit in the face, and I don't like it.
You don't mess with it.
Nah, not at all.
All right, man. So tell me what you're up to. Like, where are you at? Where you are in life?
So right now, I'm a graduate assistant at East Tennessee State University. It's a mid-major D1 on the east side of Tennessee. So I'm right by Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm right by Virginia. I'm right by Atlanta. I'm like by a lot of stuff. Like, so I'm on the east side, like in the mid-south a little bit. And I work with the football team and the track team, and I make sure that they get those grades done.
Okay. So what are your goals though? Like, what are you going for school for?
Oh, I'm in the education leadership program on top of all that too. So
Okay.
on top of working with the athletes, boxing, running, I'm still doing that graduate school too.
And then you said you work with what kind of programs there?
I work with the football team and the women's and men's track team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So doing that, like obviously with track, you have like experience from running track at Aquinas,
Yeah.
and you played football in or high school. So like, how does that feel like being around that same environment that you've been like familiar with and being able to help out that way? Does it make you kind of like wish you're out there still, or does it like, are you cool with how you're at?
So I would say sometimes I like get in the moment. I'll be talking stuff to him like, man, I'll kill you. Like I used to be cold at football, but then again I like realized like, Kyle, you at that level. Like this is that level. Like these are D1 athletes that you're talking to. These are big boys. Like they came here for a reason.
Right.
So, like a lot of these guys scored like 30 TDs in high school. So like
Right.
everybody's cold. Like so sometimes I like talk stuff, and then like sometimes then I watch the game, and then I find myself like, yeah, like you better off just being a spectator, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
I went to a couple hoop games, and them boys are tough.
Yeah, because didn't you say, I talked to you before and you said that they made March Madness a couple years ago?
They made March Madness last year, and it got canceled. Then they made it like maybe 2 years ago, and they got put out in the first round, but that's still like a good accomplishment. And then them boys might make the tournament this year, so we'll see.
Nice. So coming from Grand Rapids to Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee, how is that like? How has that changed? Like that difference?
I will say the transition hasn't been as tough like mentally on me as I thought. Cause like when you hear of like every country singer ever, like most of them are from East Tennessee, so like this is pretty like pretty like country, and nothing against that, but that's just not how I was raised, and it's been a little tough, but I feel like you have to embrace different environments and embrace different people to become like I don't know, like a better person. Like you got to know all people, so like
yeah, you gotta see both sides of things, and you're outside your normal realm of Grand Rapids and how you were raised to over there, and you're just learning and experiencing how their way of life is. Like,
yeah.
what's the biggest difference that you've noticed?
I would say the music, the way people dress. I've never seen an African American country dude before, but I've seen a couple of them. So like that's just different for me. Like just seeing like
Yeah.
like I guess like it's not a black or white thing, but like just I guess black people like country music. Like it's just not common to me. There's nothing
Just
wrong with it.
from like where you're like Grand Rapids, you're just not used to like seeing people
Nah,
like that in that kind of like state, right?
nah. This is it's a beautiful place. I love it. So I mean, I love embracing the people, and they welcome me with open arms. So
All right, so like you kind of talked about like how the big difference is. So how was it in Grand Rapids for you? And like you kind of said like how you were raised. So like kind of speak about like how like what how were you raised?
um, I would say I was raised around, I guess, people that were, I don't know. I went to Kellogg High School, so I was raised around like a bunch of different types of people, um, and I would say as a little kid, like um, growing up, like in my neighborhood, it was always just different types of people, and like you never experience like the country environment, people coming from farms and things like that, like. It was just like all city people, and so like we embrace each other and welcome each other with open arms as well. But I would say, as a kid, it was just me, my mom, and my other siblings. So it was just kind of like a little tough, be having a single parent, but you know we made the best with what we had.
Definitely, I understand that. And I kind of like going back to what you were saying about Kellogg'sville, your high school. You said you kind of like experienced a lot of different vast cultures just from high school. What and how you are in Eastern Tennessee, is it do you still kind of see all kind of cultures, or is it just kind of very like just countryish, like kind of like the South like kind of feel for everyone?
So I would say, um, the more culturally competent people, like the more like when you get older, like the people that know how to be around certain people, or like that are just competent, like knowing how to act around certain people, come from schools like Kellogg'sville High School. You know what I mean? So that's the reason that I'm the way that I am, and that's the reason that I can be in this environment right here, because we did have some people drive in from far out. I would say down here in Tennessee, it's like it's like not like that at all. I would say there's a few, but I feel like the reason that a lot of people don't know how to be around other types of people is because they don't have those experiences. And I mean, I would say it's not their fault. It's just like the demographics of the city. So um, I would say down here, it's not much of that diversity at all. I mean, outside of the football team and the basketball team, and yeah, half of those guys probably don't even. I don't know. Some of them don't like being here.
Yeah, I understand that because I mean, it's a big difference from coming from one spot to another. And like you said, you're very culturally aware of everyone and you're kind of already kind of used to that. So do you think for you, like you're very accepted by the people there?
Yeah, I think I'm accepted just because I understand all types of people. Like I said, I mean, you learn something new every day. You learn how to be around different people every day. But I would say like I just welcome everything with open arms. Like people ask me to listen to like a country song. Like I mean, like I'm not opposed to listen to it. You know what I mean? But is that gonna be? Are you gonna like persuade me to be like a country enthusiast or somebody that listens to country every day? I'm probably only gonna listen to that song one time, but
Right.
it is what it is.
Like you'll check it out. You're not going to be like dismissive of it, but you're like you'll give them the benefit of the doubt kind of thing of like, yeah, I'll listen to
Actually, I wouldn't even say probably. I'm only gonna listen to that song one time.
it.
I'm
Okay.
not getting into that. Yeah, my music taste is, you know my music taste, man.
Yeah, I do. But like for the people who don't know, like what is your music taste?
Man, I
Blueface, 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine, bro. Come on, man. I would say, um, I'm a dude that listens to people that aren't like me, but like these rappers articulate themselves so well that
You feel like you can relate kind of thing.
yeah, like I can relate to Rio the Young OG, or Baby Smooth, or Pooh Shiesty, or Babyface Ray. Those are the people that I listen to. Like I listen to hood hits, because I want to
Yeah.
feel like I want to know how certain people feel, and I feel like knowing how certain people feel will help me be able to get into that environment later in my life and help those people out.
Right. Okay. So like you said, help those people later on. What and you're doing education. So what is your end goal? Like what is your future goal of like all right, I'm going to school for this, but this is what I want to do full time outside of it?
Um, I would say I'm going to school for educational leadership, so I can. The future is bright in that field. I mean, education's not going anywhere, and
Right.
I would say, I mean, once you get the educational leadership degree, you can work at a high school, be an athletic director, principal there. You can be a college athletic director. I can keep academic advising for athletic teams. Um, my end goal would probably be like an athletic director at like a big D1. I've been reaching out to schools. I reached out to North Carolina. I had an interview with them, like informational interview, like not a real interview, just getting to know each other. I reached
Right.
out to Arizona State, University of Houston. I've just been talking to people, trying to market myself for the next step. I would say just being, I want to continue being in athletics at the college level. College level's fun, bro. Like, you know, it don't get no better than this.
Right. Yeah. And so you want to do particular athletics.
Oh, 100%.
So going back into like I kind of said earlier, you did track at Aquinas. So like tell me about your college experience and like how sports influenced you to go to Aquinas, and like what made you choose go to Aquinas?
I would say it's kind of crazy because I sucked at track in high school. I was god awful, but I would say I wouldn't be I wouldn't be in Tennessee right now if it wasn't for Deontay Williams. I wouldn't even have a bachelor's degree if it wasn't for Deontay Williams. So I would say the Aquinas coach, Dave Wood, shout out Dave Wood, for recruiting my brother. I wouldn't have been there because I was awful at track in high school. I shouldn't have been recruited out of. I could have went at like some D3 schools, like
Right.
booty schools, but Aquinas is good, like prestigious. So just having my big brother run there first just got me some pull.
So yeah, so your brother got recruited there, and then you feel like you kind of got recruited just because of like the family name kind of thing.
Oh, piggyback for sure. Like I tell him that all the time. Like he doesn't realize that I wouldn't say I tell him that all the time, but when I graduated, like I was like, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. Like when I got the Tennessee job, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And that goes beyond just Aquinas. Like, I mean, you know how Deontay, you know, big bro,
Yeah.
shout out, bro. He's that dude. He was
Right.
like a father figure to me. So just having him run at Aquinas and seeing him lay that foundation, it was like, man, I have to get better. I have to run every day outside of school. I gotta lift. I gotta, you know, because he's setting the bar so high. I'm not chasing anybody else. I'm chasing Deontay. Like you can be better than him, but I'm still looking at him, you know. So
Right. Yeah, definitely. Do you guys run the same events or?
yeah, I've actually never beat him. I thought I beat him one time. Like we crossed the finish line at like the same time. It was at Davenport. He probably don't remember, but it was at Davenport. And then we looked at the little timesheet and he beat me. So I've never beat him in anything.
Sheesh. Little
Yeah.
bro can't win.
Nah, he wouldn't let it happen.
So outside of athletics at Aquinas, so like what was something that like your college life experience and going there and in Grand Rapids, like the city you're from, how did that feel? Like how was your college experience just outside of athletics?
So I feel like outside of athletics, I would say I had a lot of fun. Going to school in the same town you're from is like crazy because like you're in like on the other side of town, but like when you go back home, like to the other side of town, it's like those are two completely different worlds. And
Right. I felt that way too.
oh, for sure, like you know, like it was just two different worlds. And then like sometimes you can bring people from your other world into that world, you know. So it
Oh,
was like
definitely.
it was cool like to experience that. And like now like going to school at Aquinas, like I can always like or going to school at Aquinas and being from Grand Rapids, like I always have to go back to that area. So like I'm gonna see like alumni and I love that. Like
Right.
if I went to a school like in a different town that I'm not from, like I wouldn't be able to see people that, you know, that I went to school with. And I embrace those like people. I want to like keep those connections. So like if I walk in the store, I'm going downtown Grand Rapids like 5 years from now, I'm gonna probably see an Aquinas alumni, and I love that about going there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did love that too, like the small school aspect in the like not big city Grand Rapids, but like in a city environment made a big difference for me because like also like all my friends that were from like the east side or from up north or down south of Michigan, they they're not from Grand Rapids, they don't really know like the little like things that you can do and like things to like
Where not to go.
yeah, exactly.
People swear that Grand Rapids is like, oh, it's only AQ people though. Like if you're from there, like like there's bad areas. Like it's like this stuff happens. Like we just had the highest like murder rate we had in centuries. Like people at AQ are like so in this little bubble. Like they're like, oh, I'm safe. That's because you're in East Grand Rapids. Like you're not.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's a couple like right around there's a couple of streets. If you go too far down, you gotta like don't be walking at night.
Oh God. And I think some of these people at Aquinas was buying houses on like, I'm not from the hood at all. Everybody knows that, but like I know hood people. Like I know people from the hood, and like I know where they stay. Like people were buying houses on Sigsbee, Logan, like. Those are all like hood places. Like those are hoods.
Yeah, my cousin, his grandparents used to live right over by Houseman, and like in the years from when he was a kid to when we lived like right around the corner, it changed so much and like became more gentrified, honestly, and that's why things kind of became better.
I think
for like crime rate.
Yeah. In probably around the time you're talking about, that's probably when
it wasn't the super safest area to be around.
Nah, around that time, no, it was on Wealthy Street, and that was close to Wealthy Street, so I can assume that it wasn't the safest area for sure.
So, like I just said, we kind of lived right around the corner. Like you and I kind of said that we were roommates earlier. I moved in with you a year after you guys were already living there. So talk about your experience of like 47.
I would say 47 is like, it was like, I always joke about it. Cause like, you see, I got the necklace on, like,
I was just going to say the 47.
It's a big joke to me. Like people are like, man, give it up. Like, I'm just joking. Like, I'm always going to be joking. Like,
right.
But at the same time, like, it created a lot of memories for us, and it created a lot of memories for other people. So, I mean, I feel like my experience at 47, it's unmatched. Like you can't like make those memories again, and I appreciate them just because like the good and the bad. Like how many bad memories I got at 47. Like I would say like those have made me into the person that I am. If I can go back and do 47 again, would I? Probably not right now, but that thing was so nasty. Like I saw a video of me like throwing up in the toilet the other day. I think you showed me it.
Yeah.
And it was like, that toilet was so nasty. How was my head down there by the toilet? Like, oh man, 47.
We didn't keep it that clean, to be honest.
Nah, they still came through though.
Yeah.
They did.
That's true. They did. But I think from when I lived with you, and you kind of said this earlier about like incorporating your Grand Rapids friends to your Aquinas friends and the people that you went to school, it was easy to intertwine them because also like living there when we had like people over and stuff, like you got to introduce those people. And I like even with Brody for one,
It was that easy though. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish your question.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say it was that easy to intertwine the worlds. Like, so I could bring somebody from my Aquinas world into my Kentwood world, but it was harder for me to bring somebody from Kentwood into Aquinas because Aquinas was very exclusive. And, you guys embraced it, like you, Brody, Kalaska, all you guys embraced it. But when you have people like, when we're going down the street to another like Aquinas party or like to an Aquinas event, like
they didn't want to. Your friends didn't want to come to that. They wanted to go to your house.
They did. But I would say that the Aquinas people didn't want them there. That was a big thing.
Oh,
you knew that. Like,
yeah. Because it'd be like, who are all these people I don't know?
Not even that, but like, you know how, like, you wasn't like that, but like, if it was just a random black dude there, they'd be like, man, what's this dude doing here? But I bet you, like, I'm not trying to pull that card, but if he was white, he would have fit right in though. So like, when you're black at Aquinas, it just sticks out. And I'm not saying if they knew that the white dude wasn't from there, then they would ask, why is he here too? But it's like he blends right in. Like, but when you got the black people from Kentwood coming in, and I wanted all my people to come, they just stuck out, and people would like say something like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, I know K Will. They like, "Are you good?"
Oh, you got the pull like that.
Or Drew. They know Drew. I know Taiwan.
Oh, chill. All right. So you, like you were kind of saying, like Aquinas wasn't really super diverse, and there was like a big thing for the later years of our college that you and TJ and a couple other people kind of started up this like Men of Inclusion group,
Hmm.
and that's something that like you guys really kind of pushed for, and you did, and you guys completed over there. So do you want to like speak on that?
Yeah, for sure. I would say it started off as just us, I guess, sitting down and just talking. Like he was like, "Y'all want to get like Dondre?" Shout out Dondre. He's I don't know what his title is. He's the leader of the core department at Aquinas. He was like, "Do you guys want to sit down and just have like a few like pizzas and pops and just sit down and talk about life?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's do that." And I feel like he knew what he was doing right off the jump when he did that, but we didn't know. So he was like, "Yeah," we're like, "Yeah, let's do that." It started off with just like me, TJ, and Cineo. Then all of a sudden, like we made it into like, man, you're not cool if you're not coming down here and eating pizza with us on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I was hounding people, like you better be down here eating pizza with us, because we getting to know Dondre, and it's rare that you get to know somebody that high up.
Like a faculty, yeah.
Yeah, so like we're getting
On a personal
on a
level.
personal level. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, and I embrace that because like I I wanted to get to know him on a personal level. That makes the connection better. So like I'm like we getting to know him. Like so everybody comes down. Like then Yemi comes, D Will comes, Danteon comes, um, you came, who else? Rob came. Rob was probably there the first time. I know he gonna get mad if I say he wasn't. So Rob was probably there the first time, but so then everybody started coming, and Dondre was like, he knew what he was doing in his head. He probably smirking like, yeah, we about to turn this into a group. And so we turned it into a diversity and inclusion group on campus. We started that up from the ground up. I'm not sure how it's doing now. I need to check back in, but we did multicultural potlucks. We went to Saint Stock one year, and we recruited, man, a lot of people that year, like a lot of people. So I would say that group it was big, and Aquinas needed it.
Yeah, and I think I haven't like heard about how it's doing over there either, but I would love for it to like be more open to people that want to be inclusive that aren't like African American or like Mexican or Hispanic or something like that, that the Caucasian community can get in there and like feel like more connected with everyone else.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of crazy that we're talking about this. I just sat in on the diversity and inclusion call 2 days ago with the NCAA, and that's another cool thing about my job is I just get to do stuff like that. Can I cuss on here?
Dude, you can do whatever you want.
I get to do shit like that for my job, like, and I'm only a graduate assistant now. Like, sky's the limit. Anyways, bro, I sat in on this call, and they're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I think I might do some stuff at ETSU with it. But it's kind of crazy that we're talking about this because they were like, this girl was like, I really like, what if you like want to start this up on your campus, you might have to meet with all athletes and then just ask them what they think diversity, equity, and inclusion means, because most of them don't know what it means. And me on that call, I didn't know what she meant by that, but she's like talking about including everybody. And like half the time we just get caught up and just think it's like, oh, the black folk, you know what I mean? But it's not
Right.
just black people. It's the LGBTQ community. It's other minorities that don't feel welcomed.
Right.
I know a lot of schools have like stuff for other minority groups because it's not just African Americans, and that's the cool thing about it.
Definitely. And that's exactly kind of what I was just saying. Like, I hope Aquinas made it turn into something like that. So doing something like that in Eastern Tennessee probably could be very, very crucial for being able to connect like people that aren't from there and have a culture background to them and the common Eastern Tennessee folk to all become more connected.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say?
I would say so too. A lot of these dudes don't have the time for. They don't, like, in season. They don't have the time for it. So I would try to get I think my main point will probably be in the summer. That's where my main touching point is going to be with them. for like in terms of like getting to know each other, because a lot of these athletes stay over the summer. Like the football team definitely stays over the summer, and the hoopers at AQ stayed over the summer. So I know these D1 hoopers gonna be on campus. So
Right.
just trying to get them in the summer when I stay here for the first time. So
I didn't know you were staying over there. Oh yeah, you actually did tell me that you're staying over there when I saw you at Christmas time.
I gotta keep embracing it. I gotta stay.
So, all right, how what do you like more? Do you like Grand Rapids, or are you finding your comfort zone over there?
Dang, that's a good one. Cause I mean, when I went back to Grand Rapids, it wasn't open, so I
Yeah.
was hoping that I can. I think I just talked about it earlier. I was hoping that I can like go back and go downtown and see some of my old people, like my AQ people, my Kentwood
Right.
people. Nothing was open, so it was tough to be there. I got to work a lot, but I would say, man, I would say I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just say Houston better than all of them.
Right. I mean, you got family down there too, right?
Yeah, Houston is the best place.
So, when you come back into town from like school, how is it to like maintain like relationships? Because like I know that's probably tough because you're not going to be back for like a long time. So like how do you pick and choose like, all right, this is gonna be family time. This is like some of the people I'm gonna reach out to, and like your Kentwood friends, your Aquinas friends, and like obviously your like me and Brody are old roommates. Like how do you like decipher like, all right, maybe next time we can do it, or you know?
So Saga and family is definitely gonna trump a lot of things. Starting off, I gotta see those two people first, just because I haven't seen them in a while. But I definitely like talk to my mom, and I've had these conversations. I would say it's not that hard, because you only see the people that you want to see. Like, there's been a lot of people that's been like, "Hey man, like when you
Let me
come
know
back,
when you're back in town. Yeah.
get with me," and I'm not hitting them people up. Like I'm only hitting like top one, Brody, Kai. I'm sorry if I miss your name because I'm just going off the top of the head, but like you know who you are. Like I mean, like
Right. Yeah.
some people is just like shout out Andrew Myers. I haven't got with him yet, but it's a lot of people like Bo. Like I'm linking with those people, but like I'm talking about people that I didn't even link with at AQ. Talking about let's link. Like
Oh, you're back in town. Let's hang out. But you like, where was the friendship kind of
I
back
would
then?
I would link with um I would link with Mary Von Cron if I could. She cool people. Like it's just cool people that I would like to be around. Like
Right.
old track people, Will Herron, Adam Bundy, like those people. Like I'm linking with. Like, but if we didn't hang out all the time, like I'm not linking with you. Like,
Right. Right. All right, man. I know you got work here in a little bit, but
yeah,
all right. I think we should wrap this up because I know you didn't want to do this super long. I love sitting down and talking with you. I'll have all your like tags and your ats on the description below. Um, you're going to be doing big things, and I know that you're going to be pushing people just like you pushed everyone around you. You've always pushed like me, Brody, just living with you. Like you like keep grinding, keep like I know it's tough right now, but like you're very motivational. So like what you're doing with your education and leadership like role over there, like I know you're probably touching on other people too, and even if it doesn't seem like it, I'm sure you are. So I hope you the best, man.
I appreciate it, man. And like you said, man, we all motivated each other. You guys motivated me too. So I want to say thank you to you for putting me on here, and
Of course.
thank you for living with me. Thank you for being one of my best friends. People don't know. Some people don't know that we're both like good dudes. Like we are
Right.
like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like my friends, like some people may not like them just because of what we did in the past, but like we are
Right.
all genuine people, and you're a genuine person. So I want to say thank you for being that person in my life for sure.
Oh, for sure, man. Like I'm glad I got to meet you in college. I'm glad I got to become like great friends because like that friendship is something that like you're kind of already saying like a friendship for life kind of thing. So it's a pleasure to be acquainted with your presence in my life, and I'm glad that I could showcase you and you as a person to everyone else that gets to watch this. So,
Good looks, brother.
of course. All right, man.
All right.
Uh thank you for watching everyone, and until next time.